This one mistake could have cost 500 patients their lives. And I'm about to reveal the shocking details behind this doctor's deadly secret. What if the doctor you trust with your life is the very person responsible for taking it? This chilling reality unfolded for hundreds of people at the hands of one of history's most notorious serial killers, Dr. Harold Shipman. In the small town of Hyde, England, a place known for its quiet streets and community spirit, no one could have guessed that one of their most respected figures, a doctor, friend, and confidant, was behind the mysterious deaths of over 250 people. For 23 years, Shipman preyed on his unsuspecting victims, and incredibly, no one suspected a thing. This is not just a story of a serial killer, but a tale of deception, manipulation, and trust. Dr. Shipman used his charm and profession to commit some of the most heinous acts, all while hiding in plain sight. How could someone so revered by their community get away with such horrors for so long? And how did the police eventually uncover the truth? Dr. Harold Shipman didn't fit the mold of a typical serial killer. He was well-liked, respected, and known for spending extra time with his elderly patients. Many of his victims were elderly, living alone, and in some cases, had even given him keys to their homes, trusting him not just with their health, but with their lives. Shipman made sure his patients felt heard, showing up at their homes for personal visits, listening to their concerns, and even comforting them in their last days. But behind this mask of care and compassion, he was gathering information, learning about their finances, their families, and their routines. His method was disturbingly simple. Shipman would administer an overdose of morphine to his victims, a drug that mimicked natural causes of death, especially in older patients. And since many of these patients were already in their 80s or beyond, their sudden deaths rarely raised eyebrows. People simply assumed it was old age or a natural cause. For years, this continued without question. Shipman signed off on their death certificates, writing off the deaths as heart attacks or strokes. And because he was their trusted doctor, no one thought to investigate further. Even the cremations that followed, ensuring no autopsy could be done, went unquestioned, as Shipman had long gained the trust of families and authorities alike. But even the most meticulous plans can unravel. Shipman's undoing came when he made one fatal mistake. In 1998, Kathleen Grundy, a former mayor of Hyde and one of his elderly patients, was found dead in her home. Her daughter, Angela Woodruff, a solicitor, found something unusual when going through her mother's belongings, a will that left everything to Dr. Shipman. This was odd, as her mother had never mentioned such a will, and Angela, being a lawyer, knew something was off. Why would her mother leave her entire estate to a doctor? The will itself was poorly written, and this raised Angela's suspicions even more. She contacted the police, and an investigation was launched. This time, they exhumed Kathleen Grundy's body and found lethal amounts of diamorphine, a form of heroin commonly used for pain relief in terminally ill patients. It was the smoking gun the police needed. But how deep did this go? As investigators dug deeper, they discovered that Shipman had been altering medical records, but his lack of tech savviness betrayed him. Shipman had recently started keeping computer records, and although he changed details about his patients' medical histories, he didn't realize that the computer saved timestamps of when the edits were made, after the patients had already died. Once the police had this crucial piece of evidence, the case against Shipman began to unravel. They also found the typewriter used to forge the will, and the faulty keys on it matched those found in the forged document. It was enough to arrest him, and in September 1998, Dr. Harold Shipman was taken into custody. What followed was a trial that shocked not just the UK, but the entire world. The evidence presented was overwhelming, and Shipman was eventually found guilty of murdering 15 patients, although authorities believe he killed many more, perhaps over 250. His trial revealed how easily trust can be manipulated, and how dangerous it can be when the very person meant to protect life becomes the one who takes it. Dr. Shipman's case forever changed the way the medical profession handles death certifications and patient records. It raised important questions about how much power and trust should be placed in a single individual, even one as respected as a doctor. The case led to reforms that now ensure no doctor can have unchecked control over these sensitive matters. In the end, Dr. Harold Shipman's actions not only took lives, but left a scar on the medical community that still lingers today. His story serves as a stark reminder that trust, while essential, can sometimes be misplaced. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, stay safe and always ask questions, because sometimes the truth hides in plain sight.